From a stunning white and brown paneled farmhouse in the Swiss mountains to a swanky Manhattan penthouse, join us as we explore the most expensive mansions of Formula One drivers. Starting the list is the billion-dollar man himself. We are, of course, talking about Lewis Hamilton. Lewis is a property magnate of the highest order. With an estimated net worth of $355 million, he's one of the wealthiest F1 drivers. Lewis Hamilton is someone whose famed party lifestyle, including his jetpacking adventures aboard a private jet, has garnered as much attention as his outstanding track record. The seven-time world champion has accumulated a collection of luxury residences in the world's most craved capitals over the years. He recently paid $58.5 million for a Manhattan penthouse in a building partly owned by Tom Brady and his wife Gisele Bündchen. It has everything you could want, including a swimming pool, fitness center, squash court, library, and wine cellar, and has a more modern vibe while still being furnished in its characteristic cozy style. Around the same time, he listed a Tribeca apartment he'd purchased for roughly $44 million, though it's unknown if it actually sold to a lucky owner. Hamilton also has a $23.2 million six-bedroom estate in London and a property in Monte Carlo. His homes have a warm vibe with wooden furniture and soft colors, particularly his London mansion, where you can picture him living his best life in a tracksuit. Following Hamilton in our list is his first big rival from the grid, Fernando Alonso. Alonso is the proud owner of a magnificent 52-story skyscraper in Dubai. According to sources, the property is worth £130 million, which is not surprising given Dubai's reputation as a playground for the wealthy. The skyscraper is mouth-opening to say the least, but despite all its glory, Fernando prefers a highly private home life. The former McLaren driver enjoys relaxing in many of his gorgeous vacation houses. Two of them are in Switzerland, while the third is set to be in Oxford. As it turns out, he owns many additional properties throughout Europe. During his Ferrari days, Alonso relocated to be closer to Ferrari. He lived in Switzerland until that point. Therefore, he was looking for a new residence closer to the Maranello Outfits headquarters. According to reports, Alonso looked for a home in Lugano, close to the Italian border. He had previously lived at Mont-sur-Roule. In comparison to Mont-sur-Roule, Lugano reduces commute to Ferrari by roughly half. However, the Spaniard denied any house hunting in Switzerland. He did not, however, deny that he was in the Italian-dominated part of Switzerland. When he spoke to the press, he stated that he was on vacation and was only looking for a hotel. According to former F1 driver Mark Schurer, fans and media continuously visited Alonso's house and his parents. Moving to Switzerland, on the other hand, provided him with a peaceful and quiet lifestyle. The Spanish Samurai also has a museum dedicated to his F1 career, complete with cars, helmets, and awards. A worthy tribute for the Formula One legend. Talking of Formula One legends, how can we not mention the Red Baron, Michael Schumacher? Schumacher will be remembered as a driver who did things that were seen as impossible from the 1990s and early 2000s. Few others since Ayrton Senna have elevated the sports bar in the way Michael Schumacher has. For someone who has simply rewritten the record books with unrivaled perfection, it can be fairly stated that Schumacher's dazzling legend will never be tarnished. Throughout his incredible F1 career, in which he drove not one but two separate spells, Michael Schumacher set the bar for countless drivers, both contemporaries and those yet to be established in the sport. Michael Schumacher, arguably the best driver in Formula One history, lives on a massive property in Gland, Switzerland. Schumi was involved in a terrible skiing accident in 2013 and has been rehabilitating away from the spotlight ever since. The Schumachers are naturally discreet, and little is known about the retired driver's health and evolution. We do know that the seven-time world champion has been resting at his sprawling estate on the shores of Lake Geneva. Villa La Reserve, a Swiss estate, is not Schumacher's only property. Michael and his wife Karina also own a ranch in Texas and a home on Majorca, a Spanish island. Rumors circulated that the injured F1 driver has been relocated to his Majorca villa, Villa Yasmin, which his wife Karina purchased in 2017. However, the family dismissed this. So it's reasonable to assume that Schumi is continuing his long road to recovery back home in Gland, surrounded by loved ones. While we're on the subject of former Scuderia Ferrari drivers and world champions, let's talk about Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen may be a fan of yachts, but the Finnish F1 driver also fancies luxurious villas in the Swiss countryside. It's not uncommon for F1 drivers to have a soft spot for Switzerland. Räikkönen purchased this property for $32 million. Kimi Räikkönen, the former world champion, also known as the Iceman, purchased his dream home in Bar, a village near Zurich in Switzerland. Kimi is said to have given it the name Butterfly. It has a total area of 300 square meters and includes indoor and outdoor pools. The indoor pool is utilized primarily when the water in the outside pool freezes. It also has an underground garage with space for up to 10 cars. Next on our list is Kimi Raikkonen's McLaren teammate David Coulthard. David Coulthard is a well-known Formula One driver who's long retired. He does, however, own an opulent mansion in Monaco, which he purchased for $30 million. David Coulthard was once a Formula One champion, and now he has an estimated net worth of $80 million. The Columbus Hotel in Monaco is one of his beautiful real estate properties. This fashionable, urbanized estate in the Fontvieille region was eventually purchased by London and Regional Group. From the past of McLaren to the present, McLaren whiz Lando Norris is one of the most likable figures in Formula One. Many Formula One drivers, including Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, and Lando's teammate Daniel Ricciardo, live in Monaco. Lando, on the other hand, resides in Surrey, not far from McLaren's facility. The 21-year-old lives in a nice home with a white and gray decor. His front and rear yards are both large, and he also has a sim room. Norris also has an indoor gym but likes to work out in his yard. When he isn't working out, Lando spends time in the sim room preparing for the next race or playing video games, which he streams on Twitch. The McLaren driver even has a memorabilia room where he showcases his previous season's helmets, as well as the other awards he's received. Lando's house also boasts a large kitchen with a large white marble top and gray drawers. Lando Norris is not one of the sport's highest paid drivers, but as a son of former pension manager Adam Norris, one of the wealthiest people in the UK, he does have a fairly nice place. Now, let's talk about Lando Norris's McLaren teammate. Daniel Ricciardo, possibly the only funny man on the grid, is as outdoorsy as they come. He's Australian, therefore his favorite pastimes include surfing, hanging out at the beach, playing basketball, hiking, bicycling, working out in the blazing Australian heat, and gracing the covers of magazines with a gorgeous smile. However, the McLaren driver adores California and spends a lot of time in San Diego and Los Angeles. Ricciardo moved to Los Angeles in 2014 and purchased his first home there in 2018 for a whopping $13 million. His bachelor apartment in the Beverly Hills post office area is the stuff of fantasies. A 2-story glass, pale wood, and sun-soaked decking vision, 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, a 2-car garage, and, to top it all off, breathtaking views of Coldwater Canyon and the Pacific Ocean. Hands up, the inspector's entering the list. Apparently, Inspector Seb loves the Alpine as much as anyone. Now, it shouldn't come as a surprise when we say Sebastian Vettel is a very private person. For the most part, Vettel straight up ignores social media and keeps his personal life out of the public eye. Vettel would rather send handwritten notes to his fans or work on his vintage motorcycles than spend his time on social media. Sebastian Vettel, the current Aston Martin powerhouse and 4-time world champion, owns several properties. But the only one that's been publicly revealed is a $9 million Swiss farmhouse. Someone who dominated tracks like no other in the pre-turbo era of Formula One lives a comfy life in the Swiss paradise. A perfect match if you ask us. And if you ever get to visit his garage, you may find a championship-winning RB6 on full display. Last but not least, we have Jenson Button. Jenson Button, another well-known Formula One driver, has a net worth of $150 million. This F1 driver is renowned for his 5-bedroom luxury residence, which he purchased for a nice sum of roughly $4.5 million. Before retiring from the sport, Button is said to have obtained this amazing real estate deal. He owns a lovely Brentwood property in California, complete with a large backyard, a master bedroom suite, and a pool. His collection of supercars, however, outnumbers the space available in his estate. This is one of the reasons he had to put it up for sale despite having the huge house. Now you've seen the most expensive mansions of F1 drivers. You gotta check out the most expensive items F1 drivers own. Check the video on screen now. And if you liked this video, subscribe to the channel and go watch another of our videos.